Welcome to Shapemakers, the podcast series from the Aluminum Extruders Council. AEC is a trade organization representing over 75% of the aluminum extrusion production in North America. In this series, you'll hear about key issues that affect both extruders and suppliers in the industry, as well as those who specify and use aluminum extruded products. Our guest speakers will discuss in-depth topics like aluminum extrusion, fair trade cases, what the industry is doing to attract and retain skilled workers, how extrusion products are rising to the challenge of stricter building and energy codes, the rise of extrusion use in vehicles, and much more. So sit back, relax, get comfortable, and get ready to learn more about aluminum extrusion.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jason Weber. Welcome to another episode of the Shapemakers podcast. As you might be familiar with, I'm the president of the Aluminum Extruders Council. Today, we have an exciting topic that we're going to be discussing, the upcoming safety and HR workshop and plant tour, which is going to be 2 intense days at the Westin in Atlanta. We'll also take a little bit of look at obviously the schedule and all the exciting things that's going on. You know, as you might have seen over the last couple events that we've been doing, we've really been trying to combine some of these standalone events that we've had in the past into more opportunities to provide a broader range of training and everything. So this particular event, as you might remember, over the past years, we have done safety summits in the past. Just a few years ago, we created the HR team within the AEC, and this is actually their first event that they'll be doing. So it was a great opportunity, to bring all the safety folks and plant supervisors and managers from across the industry and bring them to one place to really provide some good information and some, that will provide some key takeaways over the next couple days. So probably a man that doesn't need any introduction, but today we have Mr. Mel Mitchell, who is the EHS director at MI Metals. And he's going to be helping lead us through this preview of the safety summit. So hi, Mel.
Hey, Jason. Hello, everybody. Glad to be here. We'll talk a little bit about the Safety Summit and HR workshops today, and hopefully we'll get a lot of people showing up there.
Yeah, we're really looking, we always look forward to events. We love seeing members, but I think more so than physically seeing the members, we love to see them, engaged and, in everything that the AEC stands for. So I think that's, one of the reasons why we're really excited about this. Plus, the program that you all have been working on. I mean, there's been a work team, associated with planning and putting this program together to really make sure that it's beneficial, for the members, and they're going to have some key takeaways. So I don't know about, you've been involved with safety, obviously, for a long time as, a safety professional and, been within the AEC in a variety of different, work, the teams that we've been working with. So can you talk a little bit about like the genesis of, bringing these events together and why we really, focus on safety as one of the key pillars within the AEC?
Yeah, well, we've had several safety workshops from AEC, and we've been trying to do them about every 2 years, and they're great to get together. But if you look at what's going on in the facilities, there are some things that kind of overlap a lot, really. And safety and HR, quality, and environmental, all of those things kind of overlap. So we're trying to kind of get the people who are doing both. A lot of places, small workplaces, the safety person is doing the HR stuff, or the HR person is doing the safety stuff. So, when we were getting ready for this one, people started saying, hey, why don't we combine safety and HR? And we have AEC has a fairly new, they've been around for a long time, but a fairly new HR work group. And we just thought it would be a good thing to to get everybody together. When you're talking about doing safety stuff, you're always going to have an HR component of it when you're doing things. So if we can get these people all together and make contacts and learn from each other, it's a plus. What's safety other than trying to get people to do what they're supposed to be doing anyway, and think about things, and HR and safety have a lot in common.
I think this, again, it provides the perfect opportunity for people that might not engage in some of the education and some of the other events that the AEC sponsors, to come in and really experience not only the AEC and the information that we have, but also get a chance for that networking with your peers, at other companies, and have the opportunity, to share.
Well, I was talking just the other day about that with several people, and it means a lot to be able to meet in person. I mean, we've got all kinds of webinars and podcasts and newsletters and all that type of stuff, but it's not the same as meeting people in person. Yeah, you get a lot from the classes and from the breakout sessions. You learn a lot of the technical stuff, but where I feel like it's really at is around sitting at the bar stool afterwards, and you're talking to the people who are doing the job at another place, and you say something and they say, wow, we never thought of doing it that way. Or they say something and you say that. And then making contacts. I've been in this field for, more than 30 years. I've been doing it for aluminum extruders since 2000. So that's 24 years right there. And I don't know everything. And just for instance, I had something come up here earlier this year when we were doing a very large project, and it was something that I hadn't dealt with before. So, I'm sitting there looking at it, and I think I know what needs to be done, but I have people all over the country I can contact, and I knew a person that I could contact and say, hey, you guys are doing this. What happens when this happens at your plant? And they said, oh, this is what happened. That happened to us just last year. And this is what you need to do. And it's helpful. I mean, it really is. It saves you a lot of time and a lot of trouble, too.
Yeah. No, it's the networking and the things that you learn outside of classes that sometimes are the most valuable. I mean, I was, a long time, commercial person working for aluminum extruders. And although I didn't always take advantages of going to things like these, but I can even think of like an ET, going to ET as a commercial person and sitting in something, a technical presentation at ET that really has nothing to do with my day-to-day job and how much I'm going to sell, but understanding, more of the process and more of what's going on, you always take something away that you can use in your job. So just because, you're not a safety manager, I think we all know that safety is the responsibility of everyone. But again, you're gonna learn specific or pick up tips and tricks and all those things that are really invaluable in our day-to-day world. So yeah, definitely, looking forward to it. So general program wise, we have it broken into safety track and HR track. So Mel, do you want to take us through and give us a little preview of the safety track?
Well, it should be really interesting, and I can make a real quick, just kind of go through the way the whole thing is going to be. It's only going to be 2 days. It's not like it's a really long conference. It's not like we're going to be there for a week. We only have a couple of days. So we're going to start off and safety. There are a lot of new things out there in safety. I was reading an article the other day about all the new stuff, but what it comes down to is people's behavior. So we're going to start off with the safety keynote in changing the mindset and talking about making places safe and taking it personally and making a cultural transformation in workplace and in individuals to try to get them to be quite a bit safer. The keynote's going to be by Chris Andrews, and he's the EHS manager for Bonnell Aluminum over at the Noonan plant, and they've had some really good successes over the last few years. And then HR, the HR leadership keynote is going to be a thing on the power position. It's going to be a person talking about another thing about shifting cultures and driving results and just all kinds of stuff by Emily Mitchell, Nichols Mitchell. And she's a leadership and strategist and coach with Accelerations Group. So we're going to start off strong, and then we're going to go into the safety workshops and talk about cast house and molten metal safety. I know not everyone has cast houses, right? But it makes a difference when you're sending scrap off to a cast house. Some of the things that can wind up in your scrap can cause serious safety hazards in cast houses. So it really does apply to everybody. And then emergency preparedness and first responder safety training. We're going to have some breakout sessions on that. Plant safety for maintenance techs, human behavior, common problems and solutions. We're just going to go into all kinds of different areas. I don't know. Do you want me to go through the human resources workshops and just talk real quickly about them too?
Yeah, absolutely.
So human resources, there's going to be a gentleman there that I've worked with quite often, actually, that I talked to. He lives in the Bay Area down here in Tampa. And guy's name is Philip Russell from Ogletree and Deacons. And he is a lawyer for HR and for safety stuff. And he's one of those people that I can call up and bounce things off of when I have ideas. And he's going to be there talking about employment law issues, ICE, immigration, I-9, workers' comp, all that type neat stuff. And then John Buckley from Textron Aviation is going to be there and talking about integrating military veterans. You know, we've done a lot of things with hiring our heroes. We haven't really gotten a lot of people out of that, but the visibility has been really big. And I'm a veteran. I'm retired Air Force, so it makes it's something good to get into your military mindset when you're wanting to do that. And then they're going to talk about reaching women and the untapped talent. I've got to say, one of our facilities has, you don't think of women operating presses and operating the saws. I mean, it's hot, heavy work, but they're one of our facilities. There's a few women in there working those presses and things, and they're getting them to sing pretty good. So it's something that really needs to be approached, especially seeing as how our manpower has been down and everybody's looking for people who are willing to work. Another gentleman's going to talk about challenges that are defining our future from Performance Point LLC. And there's going to be a panel, or there's going to be a safety panel and a human resources panel going on to just talk about multiple issues and make it kind of like a give and take, an interactive session to talk about what's going on in the industry and what some of the challenges are.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be is a packed agenda, and one of the things that's exciting though about this agenda, and it's not the only reason to come, but you're going to hear from some of these from these experts on, let's say, the application of it. But with this, you're also going to be able to go and see. Because part of the event on I believe it's Wednesday morning is going to be an actual tour of the Bonnell plant in Noonan, Georgia, which has had 3+ years of no recordable incidents. I mean,
I know several people that are coming just to go to that, just to go out and tour the plant. I mean, anytime you can get out and tour someplace new, it's a great thing. You get to see actually see the way things work and see how they're actually doing things. It gives you some great ideas.
Yeah, 100% being able to, put the, let's say, the theory with the practical application of some of these things. Of course, none of this stuff happens overnight. It takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of diligence in making sure that we've set up the appropriate systems. But at the end of the day, until you really see it in application, I think it just makes it so much easier to take in that information. And we are so appreciative to Bonnell and the Noonan facility, and opening their doors to everybody that's going to be attending this workshop.
Yeah, it should be a really good event. I go as a safety professional. I go to several events every year just to keep up my CEUs, to keep my certifications up. And I just recently went to Safety 2025, which is one of the largest safety events in the world. That was in Orlando. And, you get a lot from those big events. But this 2-day event, you're going to not be talking to someone who might be a civil servant on a military base, or somebody working in food service industry that's worried about somebody slipping in front of the oven, and all that type stuff. Although you get things from that, here you're talking to and seeing actual things that are happening in the extrusion industry. So, it kind of makes a difference to have that available.
Yeah. 100%. I totally agree. Overall, is there anything else that you would add? I mean, we covered, those 2 days, and, it's going to be jam packed with all kinds of things. Do you have any, overarching thoughts that you'd like to share?
I just say, I don't personally, when I'm scheduling things, I hate waiting until the last minute. So if you're going to get in on it, jump and go ahead and get in on it. There's been times, I remember one time they had the March event managers meeting in San Antonio several years ago. And I waited to get a hotel room, and I had to stay in a hotel down the road and around the corner. Get your hotel rooms booked, get your registrations done, and get there, get in the actual place where it's at. It makes a difference. You don't want to have to be coming across Atlanta. I hate driving in Atlanta anyway. So, if you're going to jump, go ahead and jump and get it done.
That's right. We try to keep it as, I'm going to say, as open as possible to make sure we can accommodate as many people as possible. There are some limitations, like you said, in hotels and that we can't always expand the room blocks as needed. But one of the things that we were careful of is, one, we're not going to be in downtown Atlanta. We're out by the airport. So if we do, I hope we run into a standpoint where we've sold out the hotel. But there are other hotels in the area that we can, help you find accommodations at, if for some reason, we sell. And like I said, I hope we're that successful. Right now we're planning on, we have, for the plant tour itself, we have prearranged 2 coaches, to take us all down there. So there is some limitation in that. Again, if you don't get in early, so you wait until the last minute, although you might be able to come to the event, you might not be able to participate at the plant tour because we just might run out of space. But the more we can drive people to register early, get their room reserved, get their registration done so we can plan from the AEC perspective and make sure that we accommodate, everybody, as much as possible. Plus, you sign up early, you get a little bit of a discount. If you sign up multiple people from the same event, you even get a little bit more of a discount. So make it a little bit more affordable, for the members to send, multiple people, because that's really what we want. Is we want a good representation from all all the industry. This event is not only open to AEC members, but it's open to non-members as well. So we're looking forward to, inviting some people in that we might not necessarily see every day, from that. So it's one of the things that we try to do, especially with safety, is safety affects everyone. So these events are, basically open to the entire industry. So we're definitely looking there. We still have sponsorship opportunities available for those suppliers out there that would like the sponsorships. Of course, we take sponsorships from Extruders as well. All of that helps offset the cost to the AEC, which is extremely important in these times. So with that, I would thank you, Mel, and I would just remind everybody again, register early and often. The safety HR workshop and plant tour is going to be held at the Westin Atlanta Airport, and that is going to be October 28th through the 29th.
And don't forget, we've got the meeting next month in Atlanta also. And I will be there along with a lot of the people who are going to be presenting at this event. And if you have questions, stop and ask. I mean, we're going to have mixers and all kinds of stuff where we can stand around and drink a beer and talk.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Mel. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. The middle of September will be the Aluminum Summit. And that is a co-located event between the Aluminum Extruders Council and the Aluminum Anodizers Council. So we have some members of both. MI is a member of both organizations, but that is between the team meetings and workshops. We have in conjunction events there for both the anodizers and the extruders. We'll have the extrusion excellence workshop for the extruders. For the anodizers, they have their anodizing essentials class and the troubleshooting class. We have 2 days of general sessions and focus sessions. And there is, not only, there's commercial information in there. There's obviously technical information. Staff and the members have done a great job at planning programs. We have things in there on AI and oh man, it is so jam-packed. I'm really looking forward to that event. I wish I could attend every single breakout session, but that's not going to be possible. But anyway, thanks for the reminder on that. Again, register early and often. The hotel room block is getting close, but it's not full yet. Plenty of opportunities to get in there and make sure you get registered. So thanks, Mel. I appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you over the next couple months.
Have a good